The LG Wing is probably one of the most unique devices we've seen all year, or maybe even of all time. It's one of those devices that, well, blazes its own trail without really stopping to ask for directions, and I'm all for it. This is a pre-production unit sent to me by LG, so it's not a retail unit. The durability test has to wait until that comes out, like we always do, but the hardware is finalized, so we can take it all apart to see how it works. Huge thanks to LG for sponsoring this video and sending over the Wing. Rather brave of them, since I've never opened up a phone like this before, and there's a pretty good chance it won't survive. Let's get started. The LG Wing has about the same size, shape, thickness, and weight as my Note 10 Plus inside of its case, but the LG Wing can do this, which is something I never thought a phone would need to do. Instead of folding, this guy swivels. It'll be super interesting to see how that works from the inside. The phone splits in half, swiveling up into a T shape, so the screen is horizontal, while revealing a secondary square screen down below. The swinging motion feels solid and really easy to initiate, and something catches the screen at the top of the swivel to gently ease it into place. We're going to find out how the hinge works once we get inside. LG has installed a high lubricity polyacetal, which is a lubricated plastic of sorts that surrounds the front panel and protects the screen. It's a softer, smoother plastic, raised up to form a slight cavern inside, so foreign materials won't be rubbing up on the screen when it's closed or opening. This is important, because pocket sand is a real danger to glass displays. When the phone is opened up in its winged state, there is more real estate for activities and multitasking. Like with YouTube, it displays the video up top and the video controls down below. Or when we're in the camera app, the bottom display can act as a gimbal for the camera unit, adding extra electronic stabilization to the camera. There is no physical movement of the camera hardware while you're controlling that gimbal. It's all done with software, but still pretty cool. Activating the top camera makes it pop out of the phone like a daisy, and then the Wing can film forwards and backwards at the same time. It also has the same retract and fall detection features that we've seen in other pop-up cameras. The coolest thing, though, I think, is the ability to watch a video full screen while another app, like texting, is open at the bottom. Or even the ability to comment on a video while it's still full screen. Or maybe while you're on a road trip, the navigation can be vertical while the music is over on the side screen. There are a lot of different options. I mean, let's be honest, this probably isn't going to be the best phone to recommend to grandma. But if you're looking for the latest, craziest, and most uniquely designed phone on the market, this might very well just be it. Now that the Wing has been awake for 5 minutes, it's time to take it apart. So keep in mind that this is my first time seeing the LG Wing, and it is very different from any other phone we've taken apart recently. So cross your fingers for our new friend's survival. The LG Wing has passed 9 different mil standard 810G tests, one of which is the shock test, which dropped the Wing at 26 different angles from 1.2 meters, and it still survived. But that's obviously quite a bit different than being completely dismantled. I'll remove the back glass panel, since that's where I'd assume we'd find the screen and internal connectors, along with whatever magic makes up that swivel hinge. With the back glass gone, we get our first look at the wireless charging pad, and the "No Dogs Allowed" sticker, which is good. Since I'm not a canine, I'll continue. There are 9 normal Phillips head screws holding down the top plastics. And once that panel is removed, we get our first tease at how LG has assembled the Wing. We know ribbon cables can flex, from those pop-up cameras. And this ribbon cable controlling the screen goes through the PCB and rotates gently with the display inside of its large smooth circular opening. LG says they've tested this opening motion over 200,000 times, which, like if you flipped open the phone 100 times a day, would still last you about 5.5 years. So far so good. We can also get a close-up look at the pop-up front-facing camera. It's got the same stepper motor setup that we've seen other pop-up cameras use. I used to dedicate an entire video to a pop-up camera, but now we've got a whole phone splitting in half. Technology's pretty great. I'll disconnect the battery, the bottom screen, the USB-C charging port cable, all just like little Legos. Then I'll pull out the SIM and expandable memory SD card tray. You might think that a phone like this wouldn't have any water protection, and you're kinda right. The phone isn't exactly sealed shut, but LG has coated the internal boards with a water repellent coating. There's still no official IP rating, so keep it away from water, but it is nice to know it does have some protection. I'll lift the motherboard out from the phone after disconnecting the 32 megapixel front-facing camera. There are 3 rear-facing cameras, the 12 megapixel swivel camera up top, a 64 megapixel main camera, which does have optical image stabilization, and a 13.
Hey everyone, so if you're having problems with OBS on Windows 10 laptops showing a black screen like this for a display capture or maybe even game capture, I'm not sure if it affects game capture, but I think it can. I'm going to show you real quickly how to fix it. So all you gotta do is go to NVIDIA Control Panel, let that load up, come on, there we go, and go to Manage 3D Settings and go to Program Settings. And here, once it loads, what you're gonna do is you're gonna find OBS. in this list of programs here. If it's not here, what you're going to do is go to Add, and you're going to add both OBS 64 and OBS 32. If they're not found here by the recently used programs, you can browse to their locations. Let's see, they're in program files, x86, OBS Studio, bin, and then those two, that and that. So I'm going to cancel that because I don't need it. So just, go to those two, make sure you add them. I've already done it. Then they'll show up in your program list, and go to both of them and select integrated graphics instead of high performance NVIDIA processor. What that tells the system to do is to render the UI of OBS with the Intel graphics. But more than that, it tells it to capture the frames from that integrated, graphic card, my bad, instead of the NVIDIA processor. And this fixes it because the NVIDIA processor, while it is more powerful, it's your secondary card. You're not rendering the desktop with that NVIDIA processor. And all the Windows, capture things that allow OBS to work is still going to work through the integrated graphics. Now, this will not affect your ability to use NVIDIA encoder, NVENC, anything like that. It's just going to fix your problems, and it's not going to hurt your performance at all. So once you do that, you click apply and everything, and now your display capture should work. It fixed it for me. I mean, it may not fix it for everyone, but the good majority of people, it should. If it doesn't fix it, I guess, Google, maybe, I don't know. But that's what worked for me, and hopefully that helps someone, and have a great day.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back into another video. Today's video is not a gaming one. It's actually more of a help for content creators like myself. Most of you have been having problems with OBS if you're watching this video. So you're probably here trying